Good evening, everybody. This is a meeting of the Township Committee, October 6, 2025. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk all on January 11, 2025. Committeeman Clark. Committeewoman Kratz.
Here.
Committeeman Sedembrino. Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Here.
Mayor Perry.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dan, you want to come up here and lead us in the pledge here? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to honor the troops serving worldwide, defending our constitutions, freedoms, and way of life. Thank you. Our first item on tonight's agenda, we have a presentation recognizing Gary Ruman Bike Tour for Veterans, Middletown Veterans Housing Committee, VFW Post 2179, and American Legion Post 515 for donations to the Veterans Village.
Let me squeeze in. So, as many of you know, our veterans housing site is coming to completion. And if you've seen it in action, the parking lot was paved the other day, the street was widened. And on November 2nd, we will open up that beautiful building. And, but it is not just a township effort, it's an entire community's effort. A community that has come together to ask what they can do for the veterans that are going to be living there. And for many years, John and the entire family has been saying, when you're ready, we want to do the Gary Ruman bike tour for the veterans site. And it was just a few weeks ago that we all got together after the tour was winding down, that we came together and this amazing family, this amazing Middletown family came together to honor not just Gary, but the entire Ruman family for everything that they have done for Middletown, for our country, and for a better world and community. And at that beautiful ceremony at the end, we all gathered outside because it was perfect, absolutely perfect weather for a bike tour.
Every year.
God's blessing on that every year, right? They presented the township with a check. And I think it was the second most amount of money ever raised, right?
And it went up a couple $100. We had late donations.
So did we take first place yet?
Not
Not yet? All right. Well, the township is honored because the men and women that have honorably served our nation are gonna have a home. And thanks in part to the efforts of this amazing family that has, bonded together, been together, was there, and watched Gary grow up
Yes.
and watched him be a member of the United States Navy, is honoring that very service. And while Gary will not be able to live in this facility, his memory will remain alive forever within this facility. And it is because of the entire Rumen, family, all his loved ones, his mom, his sister, his entire family, that his memory will continue to be alive and well for every single veteran that walks into that building will be honored, to know that a fellow veteran was there to support them when they needed it most. So let's give it up for Gary.
So.
No. Who was this? John?
I just want to thank you. A long time coming,
Yes, sir.
years, trying to get this.
Yes, sir.
It's went up to $7,820.16.
Wow, unbelievable.
Thank you.
Thank you much. So this money, and all the donations that come in for this, amazing facility, will be earmarked specifically to support the men and women, that live in that building, and that will forever be thanking for their service, their sacrifice, their honor for the United States of America. And we couldn't be more grateful and proud to, have you all here today. We look forward to seeing hopefully all of you on November 2nd when we cut the ribbon, for that building. The same day as our Veterans Day parade, since our parade goes directly in front of this building. So on behalf of the Township Committee, in grateful appreciation of your generous donations to the Middletown Veterans and the Veterans Village, presented to get the Gary Rumen Bike Tour for Veterans on this, the 6th day of October in the year 2025. It's in Gary's memory, it's in his honor, and we'll forever be grateful. So thank you all so very much for everything.
Thank you very much.
You sure you don't want to say anything? Now's your opportunity.
I don't know. You want to say something? I don't know. I'm speechless right now.
Thank you all very much. We're really, really proud to help raise money every year for our veterans. It's just a little bit, but every little bit helps, so.
We've raised over $40,000 in the last 7 years. So.
Well, let's put this money to good use and let's keep Gary's memory alive by doing it and doing just a small thank you to our veterans. All right?
All right, guys, ready?
There you go.
1, 2, 3. I'll take that. All right, beautiful.
All right,
Thank you.
let's give it up for these guys.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm also Uncle Buddy's niece from Thorne School. Yes.
Now we're reading from this. Okay,
Yes, yes.
okay, I'm sorry. Our next presentation is recognizing Middletown Veterans Affairs Committee via Post 2179 and American Legion Post 515 for donations to Veterans Village. At this time, I'd like to invite everyone forward from those organizations.
So through that, we felt it was certainly appropriate that through, while honoring the Gary Rubin Bike for Vets, the bike tour for vets, to bring in some other folks that are obviously have been critical to the equation. And that our Veterans Affairs Committee, our VFW Post 2179 and American Legion 515. Dennis is on call right now, to say the least. Including when I called him up to do the Pledge of Allegiance, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance today. You handled that beautifully.
Oh, yeah.
You said it once or twice, obviously. But it's without the support of the Gary Rubin Bike Tour for Vets that have helped us raise money. But it's also about those that have been a part of this process since the beginning. And you know, Dennis and Bob Seymour have been a part of the process from the very beginning. You know, the entire American Legion Post 515, the VAC and the VFW have all played a critical role to this. From helping us pick the pictures that are gonna be in the hallways to, what's that?
Not daughter.
Oh. To what the layout of the community rooms are gonna look like. What should be in them? What's an amenity that our veterans would need that maybe, you know, our engineers won't come up with, that just makes their lives just a little bit better. Because this project is based solely on one thing, and that's providing housing for the men and women that have honorably served this nation. So on behalf of the Township Committee, we wanted to recognize these three organizations that are doing so much for this project, and just give a small amount of gratitude for such a big effort to all of you. And thank you for your service, not only to our country, but to the Middletown community. We're incredibly grateful. So we have plaques for each of you. And it says, in grateful appreciation of your generous donation of time and money to the Middletown Veterans Village, presented to the Veterans Affairs Committee, to VFW Post 2179 and American Legion Post 515, given on this day, the 6th day of October in the year 2025. Guys, thank you so much for everything that you've done to make this possible. I know you'll all be there for the grand opening of this great building. And we're so excited to see in the future what entails for all that. We'll call that building home, and for all the services, kindness, generosity that this community has shown towards every single resident that they will probably never meet, but that they have impacted the lives of each and every day. So guys, thank you all very much for everything. I had him do one job. One job. DM had us.
All right, ready?
All right, come on in here.
Come on, let me get, I am excited.
All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, beautiful.
All right. Let's give a round up with these guys. Thank you, appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
We have two proclamations tonight for the record. We have proclamation recognizing October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the Township of Middletown. and a proclamation recognizing October 19th, 2025 as Middletown Day in the Township of Middletown. At this time, we have a public hearing of proposed ordinances. Our first ordinance for tonight is 2025-3480, an ordinance authorizing entry into purchase and sale agreement with the County of Monmouth and Port Monmouth Residential Developer LLC for redevelopment of portions of Block 306, Lot 66 in the Township of Middletown.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3480?
Good evening, everyone. Good to see you. Susan DiNacenzo, 398 Maple Drive, Belford. This started back in 2023. I remember being the only person here to stand up for my community to not have a solar farm constructed on the Bay Shore. 2024, there was a meeting here. The question was raised whether the electricity, the delivery of it from the solar farm was alternating or direct. And your response, Mr. Perry, Mayor Perry, with all due respect, was that it was direct. After speaking with the lawyer for the proposed solar farm at that time, now I see a group of gentlemen here, and I'm not sure if it's the same group that was started back in 2023 when this land for sale for a solar farm came up. I'm not sure if it's still the same group.
Not for sale. Land is it's being maintained by the county.
What will it be used for? What's the proposed usage for the Block 306, Lot 66?
It's an entire redevelopment plan that include that, and you're commenting on
Which includes a,
solar farm,
how many watts?
20
20 watts or 20 megawatts?
20 megawatts.
Okay, and within a residential area. This has been a passion of mine since it began. I was the only person here in 2023, was told it began in 2012. Community did not have fair advantage of getting information out to the community. Presented to the commissioners. Had people, residents call from Port Monmouth to Atlantic Highlands to help protect our Bay Shore. Now, a few weeks ago, there was a woman requesting that fluoride be removed. So fluoride's a concern, but metals from a solar farm that's going to be constructed
Well, let me just,
within the
let me
confluence,
say
three
this.
bodies of water.
Let me just say this, excuse me. You're commenting on what another member of the public felt.
Well-
Excuse me. You felt necessary to bring up another member of the public and
Yes.
what they said. Any member of the public can walk up to that microphone and within their public comments, say whatever it is they want. So I'm not
Agreed.
going to allow any disparaging or anything like that
Okay.
on another resident for what they felt was important.
Okay.
If you would like to make your comments about this, you can, but I'm not going to allow any type of disparaging on what an individual may or may not have thought.
Well, I request the same from you. I request no disparaging from you for my concern on my community.
Well, we spoke for about 25 minutes after the last meeting.
It
You
was
didn't-
about 40.
Okay. I gave myself the benefit of the doubt, but if-
What I'm saying here is, I'm here again on behalf of the residents of Belford. They don't want a solar farm. I was at this Wind and Sea Festival. I spoke to several people. Solar farm near the Bay Shore, what is that about? Confluence of water. We have an ocean, 2 rivers, and a bay. Salt water, it's not conducive to the Bay Shore area. It's just not. That land, I believe, in my honest opinion, is worth a whole lot more to this township than swallowing it up by a 20 megawatt solar farm.
it's a very, saying that it's being swallowed up is
It's-
not accurate. It's an incredibly small amount of acreage in the grand scheme of the megawatt facility.
Mhm.
And it's a garbage dump that's been capped. It's a dump.
It hasn't been touched in 75 years.
Yeah.
And you're gonna touch it now and have everything leak into the sewage authority. You're running a sewage authority over there and you want to keep the water clean and healthy for the residents, but you want to put a solar farm.
The water that comes into the sewage authority is not clean and healthy.
I'm talking
It's
about
sewer
having
water.
residual runoff from a solar farm that contains precious metals and aluminums and all other kinds of stuff within it.
There's no precious metals
No.
in a garbage dump.
I'm talking about the solar farm.
You just
I'm
said
talking
that.
about the panels themselves. So
Okay.
it's okay to want clean water, but you're going to propose construction of a solar farm near our water processing plant.
It's a sewer authority. It's sewer water. This is not the reservoir that your drinking water comes out of.
It's all connected. It's all.
Actually, it's not. I really hope it's not. In fact, and I just want to be clear that Middletown Sewer does not connect to New Jersey American Water. The water that comes out of your faucet is not connected to to the TOMSA at all. I just want to be abundantly clear about that. Sewer water is treated and then discharged. It does not go through your,
It's still discharged into where?
it's discharged out into the ocean.
Okay, there you go. And then you're gonna add more. You're gonna add more. You're gonna add more problems. What about the young people in the future? Are you guaranteed that in 20 years, this company, this LLC, is going to be around to clean it up? Or if there is another hurricane, is there prevention that somebody's gonna come in and clean it up? You're adding more garbage to a garbage dump that hasn't been touched in 75 years. Bottom line, that's what you're doing. It's not conducive to the Bay Shore area. So getting back to the wind
Everyone
and-
is paying more for their electric bill right now because there's not enough electric being generated.
Mhm. And in any way, is this going to be subsidizing data centers in the area?
Subsidizing data.
Data
centers.
centers.
We don't have any data
There's a
centers.
couple in Monmouth County.
Not in Middletown.
I didn't say
And-
Middletown, I said Monmouth.
And the other part of this is energy is energy. And every time you walk into your house, your lights are expected to turn on. And right now you're paying 20% more because there's not enough being generated. Yes or no?
My electric bill is fine.
No, your electric bill went up 20%.
No, my electric bill
No,
is
no,
fine.
I.
Because I didn't get a smart meter.
The Board of
I
Public.
refused the smart meter, so my electric bill is actually
Well,
perfect.
if that's the case, then you're paying, I think, $15 extra per.
That's fine.
Okay. So
$50 extra versus a triple or quadruple amount for my electricity bill?
my point is that you're talking about sewer water, drinking water that have nothing to do with one another
But where does the residual, where is the runoff going to go from this?
in a stormwater management,
Mhm.
which does
And
not
you
go.
can guarantee no one's gonna get sick. None of the residents around there, once that land starts getting giled up, that no one's gonna get sick.
You don't pierce the cap of a landfill. You actually you put new fill compacted down and then build it on top of that.
My priority is the safety of
don't-
my
you-
community.
Same. It's my number one
Is
priority.
Middletown prepared? God forbid, there's an explosion over there. You have enough? You have enough?
Enough what?
Enough firefighters? Do you have enough? And God forbid there's an emergency to run over there and protect the rest of the community.
Well, I'm not, I can say that Rick I'm pretty confident.
Belford is one of the lucky parts of town. It has two firehouses right in the Belford.
And how many times how many times have you had to go over there and put a fire out in the crow weeds? In your life, I don't know.
Years ago, a lot. Lately, there's not even, there's one brush truck in service before.
That's because there's no solar farm yet.
No,
No, it's because kids throw matches and things that are on fire into the crow weeds and light them on fire.
Will there be 24/7 surveillance down at the solar farm?
I'm not, you'll have to ask the county that question.
The county. Okay, well, at Wind and Sea Festival last weekend, I took the opportunity to speak, as I was saying, to a lot of residents.
Mhm.
Great opportunity, only to be chased away by a CJ who worked for the county, who was yelling out that I worked for oil companies and I'm spreading propaganda. I don't spread propaganda. I'm here to help protect my darling little town of Belford. That's
Okay.
what I'm here. That's the intention. I was here in 2023 by myself and I'm here again. And I request to the town, please don't rush into this. Don't rush into it until you have every bit of information covered and that information is supplied to the community of Belford. The plans for a fire, the plans for an explosion, the plans for like, where are the plans?
Do you know what the plans are for if your house catches on fire right now?
Tony, that's not the issue.
Do you have a plan?
Mr.,
If-
I'm sorry, Mayor Perry, that's not the issue.
Susan, do you have a plan right now that you've been supplied by the Middletown Township Fire Department, the world's largest all-volunteer fire department? If your house were to catch on fire, do you have a plan?
My home does not have
It's a
20
ye-
megawatts
It's a
of
yes, it's a
energy going
yes or
through it.
no answer, and the answer I can tell you is no. I fully respect your opinion,
Mhm.
but you're making comments as if every resident in Middletown has a plan if their house catches on fire. I hope they have an escape plan. I hope they know which windows they should be going out of. I hope they know all that, because I've sat at fires where tragically people have not been able to get out in time. But what you're asking for is something that no resident knows what the members of the volunteer members of the Middletown Township Fire Department. That's why they're as good as they are, is because they train constantly. Last weekend, they were training. They had a large diameter hose training just this past weekend because they train for the inevitable. That's why they're the best.
So they were training on solar fires?
No, but do you know how many LDH drills I've gone to at the ferry terminal?
No.
Dozens.
Have they practiced on solar fires?
They don't need to practice. They have had fires where houses that have solar panels on them have caught
And
on
it's a
fire.
different kind of fire. It's a different kind of fire.
Okay. The answer is yes. The answer is yes, they are trained because they have done fires with solar panels on them. So the answer to your question is yes.
So you're saying, you mentioned the county. This has to be taken to the county?
The county, it's the county's property.
So it was the county's property.
It is the county's property.
And then it was rezoned to Middletown, and now it's being rezoned back to the county.
No, pass-through entity.
Because I think it's Assemblyman Scharfenberger rezoned that land in 2017.
I don't know.
Mhm. Nothing? That's the block and lot that's listed on the rezoning down in Trenton. Well, in 2012 it was, so what would stop it from being discussed in 2017?
Zoning is kind of irrelevant on county land anyway, because they're exempt from our zoning. We can zone it anything we want. They can still do anything they want. So that doesn't matter. But keep in mind, the solar project went before the planning board. They had public hearings. There was public participation in all those hearings. The planning board ultimately approved it.
Well, yeah, that was weeks ago before, when I caught the guy from the planning board at the red light, who told me Belford's getting it.
It was almost a year ago.
And there were multiple hearings and people came out and spoke, and ultimately the planning board approved it. So there was a lot of.
So how do I get those records? Through Oprah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a
yeah.
lot of opportunity
Okay.
for public comment.
Okay. All right, because I've been keeping a hard,
Weren't you,
eye on that.
weren't you there?
I
You were,
don't-
you were.
The planning board one,
You were. Because in fact, in one of when the times that you came up here, you said that you did go to the planning board meetings. So you were
I
there.
just am requesting from. the
I
town.
understand. Respect your opinion. I
And
do.
Whether the land is sold, you got a, a group of guys back there, it looks like the land's already sold, right? To the county, and then it's already, is it done? In other words, is it done?
The land
Is
is.
it done?
The land is the county's. The county owns the land.
So who is it
Monmouth
being
County
sold to?
owns the land.
Who's the
It's
LLC
sold-
listed on here?
It's not being sold. A company is building a solar facility on county land. They have an agreement with that company to do it. And yes, it's approved.
Is it the same company that was being spoken to, that I spoke to the lawyer of the solar company way back in 2020, now that is 2024, after this all began?
As
Is it
far
the
as I know-
same
As far as I
company?
know, that hasn't changed. As far as anybody here knows, that hasn't changed.
Well, I would hope that you would know if it
If it
changed
had
or not.
changed, we probably would know that, yeah.
Very upsetting to the Bay Shore area. Big disappointment if it goes
Well,
through.
just to be clear.
It's not going to serve, let's
just to
face
be
it.
clear, I live in Belford
Yeah,
too.
that's what I
And
wanted to say. There's two
I'm
people on this
Belford,
dais that are
so
from
you don't speak-
Belford.
You don't speak for everyone in Belford.
I grew
Where
up
in Belford? Like, It's Belford. Why aren't you showing more love for your community
I
than
think-
having this
I
junk
think it's a great
constructed?
way to use a landfill, because there's nothing else you can really do with a landfill. It's useless land. It's worth nothing. So this is a great way to get an investment
Uh-huh.
and an addition to the solar, to the energy grid, utilizing a landfill, which otherwise could be used for nothing else really. So I think it's a great way to use a landfill. Monmouth County has one in Tinton Falls.
Not worried about Tinton Falls.
Yeah, I know you're not worried, but that does count though.
My girlfriend bought a condo there. She had to pretend she was looking at the body of water after they
Because there's not
constructed
much else
that.
you can do with landfills. So solar.
Well,
farms
There's,
is one-
there's other things you could do. You could leave it alone.
Yeah.
It's the Bay Shore. You could leave it alone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3480? Yes, sir. Just state your name for me.
My name's Travis Harrison. On behalf, I'm not a Middletown resident, but I'm a Monmouth County resident for my entire life. I just want to say I fully support this project, solar farming. I'm a electrician, IBEW Local 400. I think it'll bring a lot of quality work for us, the area, right down to just even like the delis when guys eating lunch and just, it'll support the town a lot. And I just fully support it. So thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Any other member of the public? Yes, ma'am. How are you today?
Hello, how are you?
Good.
My name's Samantha DeLassio. I live in Belford as well on Hopping Road. My son is a huge fan. I mean, at the end of the, of the entire crew, our little neighbors. At the end of the day, the town needs to make more money, right? So redeveloping certain areas of the town is going to be important. But when you're redeveloping where you're bringing in apartments, you're bringing in more people, you're bringing in solar farms, there's contingencies that people just want to know what you guys are going to do. To your point, the fire department is volunteer, so there's not necessarily guarantees. That lot is a flood zone, correct? A flood zone for saltwater. Saltwater and electricity, not always the best combination. Not to say that there's not a solution, but the public wants to know what is the solution, what is the plan? The same with noise pollution. It's a small hum. It may seem like nothing. We have the unit behind, what is it, KinderCare or whatnot. It's annoying. At 12 o'clock at night, you can hear it. It buzz. It's exhausting. What other sound pollution is going to happen? Again, not necessarily something that can't be solved, but things to take into consideration when you're doing building in a residential area. When you're bringing in apartments, where are these people going to school? What are you doing? This all connects. And I think with more communication and sharing this information, I would imagine other people have thought of this already. It's not easily accessible to find this information online. LLCs are married with others where names are hidden and you have to look up who really are the developers behind it. I mean, even the naming of it seems very like laissez-faire. It seems like it's the town, right? I think just more information on this needs to be shared. Clearly, there's concerns. And I'm sure there's other people available that have the same concerns, but unfortunately, it's a small group here.
Yeah, just to your point about the noise pollution, that was something that Tony and I brought up to them and did request that there be sound barriers, both landscaping and the such, to ensure that any type of noise coming off of that would be prevented.
Is there public information regarding what their plans are for that available for the public?
From the planning board meetings, yeah.
They are, so
Mhm.
that would be in the board minutes?
Yeah,
Okay, awesome. Well, that was my piece.
thank you so much. Any other member of the public wishes? Yes, sir. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good, thanks.
My name is Isaac Thorpe. I have lived in Middletown my entire life. I'm also an IBEW union electrician, and I think that this is a very important use of non-usable land. New Jersey needs way more power quickly because of skyrocketing energy prices. That's my piece.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you. Any other member of the public? Yes, sir. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good evening. My name is Thomas Smith. I've lived on Turner Drive for my whole life. I'm supportive of this solar farm and I would like for it to happen.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Appreciate your comments. Just gonna go down the line at this point. All right. How are you?
Very good.
Good, thanks.
My name is Matthew Nicolosi. I'm a union electrician. I've been a Middletown resident all my life. And I think it would be very advantageous for this project to go forward. I think New Jersey's desperate for power. I'm also one of the electricians who worked on the Middletown Veterans Housing Project. So I know how important new construction can be for this town, and I think we should continue. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. You don't even have to raise your hand. I'll just go in order. Thank you for your service on the Veterans Housing Project. Appreciate it.
Good afternoon or evening. My name is Joe Mancini. I'm a Monmouth County resident, former resident of Atlantic Highlands for 2 years. I think this project will be really helpful for unused space, an area we're clamoring for electricity right now. As an IBW member, Local 400, this is a great project, be great things to happen for us and also for your community.
All right. Thank you very much for your comments, sir. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
My name is Connor DeMild. I'm a Monmouth County resident and a veteran. I'm in support of getting everybody's electricity bills lowered and doing something positive for the land. And it'll give a lot of good jobs to some good working guys.
Thank you. Thank you for your service, sir. How you doing today? Youngest guy of the group?
Yes, sir.
All right.
My name is Justin Bedford. I'm a Leonardo resident, and I'm in full support of how we're going to use this unused land, and I think it's going to create lots of great jobs for the union. That's all I got.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Any other member? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
How are you?
Mayor. My name is Michael Ricca. I'm the Assistant Business Manager of Local 400. I'm also the President of the Monmouth and Ocean County Building Trades. And more importantly, I'm a proud Middletown resident. I'm up here in favor of this project. You heard some of the guys talk about good paying jobs. These jobs are good paying, which allow the workers who work on them to remain in these communities that we care so much about. These jobs help provide good health care and retirement options for these men and women of the building trades to raise their families in these communities. On top of that, we've heard a couple people talk about the continuing cost of electricity. Well, I can tell you that solar is one of the quickest and cleanest ways to help alleviate some of that pressure on the grid. And this practice of putting solar on landfills, capped landfills, isn't just done here. This is throughout the country. And it's one of the smartest things that we can do because it is unusable land. It's land that you're not putting a park there, you're not putting a school there. So it's taking unusable land and creating value in it. And as far as some of the comments about solar and water, we've built floating solar fields at MUAs and different facilities to maximize every piece of unusable property on quarries or waterways and things like that that help create this clean energy. So again, as a resident of Middletown, I am in favor of this project, and I commend both Middletown and the county for exploring every options there are to help its residents without clear cutting trees and clearing property and taking away land that we're so proud of in Middletown. We're proud of our parks and our trees and our forests and our woods. You're actually looking into land that cannot be used and finding a benefit. So I applaud you and the county. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3480?
One question. Go to you.
Come on up. One question.
From research, these solar farms need to be cleaned at least twice a year. Who's in charge of that? It costs anywhere between $100,000 and $350,000 a year to clean them. Who's in charge of? Is a taxpayer going to pay that?
The owner, the operator.
We also get that a verification from the planning board meetings that the taxpayer is
Any
not
type,
paying.
any type of vegetation that's gonna interfere with the generation of the solar energy is probably not conducive for the operator of this facility. So I would assume that it is in their best interest to keep the solar panels clear from any obstructions to prevent light from being absorbed.
So that it runs the most efficient it can, because if you park your car down by the water for an hour or two.
Those sorts of details would be in the county's contract with the company who's
Uh-huh.
building it. I don't have it, but it's public information. I'm sure you can get it from the county.
Because they need to be cleaned in order to run
Gotta
efficiently,
be maintained, you're right. Yeah.
twice a year.
No business.
That's what research says.
No business is gonna get into this so that they can get dirty and not be able to be
And
operational.
One more point, Virginia Tech did a study surrounding within 3-mile radius, people are going to lose 5% of the value of their home. Keep that in mind when tax time comes for the residents within a 3-mile radius. Thank you. Everybody have a good night.
Any other member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance 2025-3480? Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino, not here. Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt this ordinance on second and final reading. Our next ordinance for public hearing, we have ordinance 2025-3481, an ordinance amending and restating ordinance number 2023-3399 solely as to the established fair market value for property identified as Block 835, part of Lot 18 within the Township of Middletown.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3481? Seeing no member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt this ordinance on second and final reading. At this time, we have ordinance 2025-3482, an ordinance authorizing lease agreement with Fostering Farmers Incorporated, a not-for-profit organization for use of approximately 1 acre of land for farming purposes located upon Block 1012, Lot 31.01 within Stevenson Park, as shown on the tax map of the Township of Middletown, not currently required for public purposes pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-14C.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3482? Yes, ma'am.
Getting good at this.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Mayor?
Good, thank you.
Okay. My name is Andrea Abbott, and I live at 41. I don't think anybody's been given their addresses here, but
You
41.
don't have to.
Oh, you don't? Okay, then never mind. Okay. I actually came here hoping to, eavesdrop and maybe hear some more information about,
You don't have to eavesdrop, it's all public.
I'm just saying
Aye.
eavesdrop in case other people were talking about it. So, but nobody, I'm here. So I was hoping I just wanted to ask one question today, actually a couple, maybe two. One is, I expressed my concern and caring about Stevenson Park, which I've been going to for many years, since, I don't know, a long time. And the condition which I felt like had deteriorated, and it's very disappointing to me. So I ended up by saying that I wish Middletown, I was hoping Middletown would show it a little love. And I had also said that I was willing to help with that. Since then, I found out somebody had spoken to a member on the panel here. And whomever it was had said that this park is not, Middletown isn't really that associated with it or couldn't do whatever it could do. I wanted to know, how can I find out what is the relationship of Middletown to this park? Did that change over the years? I don't mean since Monmouth Conservancy gave it to you, but has it changed since 2017 for some reason? What are the restrictions on the park? Do they still remain what I keep popping into when I look online, that it's a passive park, et cetera? And so what are the restrictions? Did things change since 2017? What's the relationship of Middletown to it? What is Middletown's investment in the park as far as what the plans are? Now, I'm not asking for an answer now. I'm interested in this information, and I don't want to do anything by myself. I just want to have a resource to go to find out. The reason I came here specifically to, like I said, eavesdrop or try to overhear what people were talking about, maybe if I saw, something up there on a screen, is I wanted to know where exactly, I know the park almost like the back of my hand, okay? So when you say, oh, it's going to be in Stevenson Park, I personally am very curious as to exactly where, because to me it matters. So I'm wondering.
Where is Fostering Farmers going?
Exactly, where is that farm? Where is that acre that they're going to have in the
Go
park?
ahead, Tom.
If you will. So if you've been there for a long time, you know that there was a large area that was farmed for many years, right? As you go in on the left side, we have the community garden. This would be part of the area that was formerly farmed before, but now it's just been left alone. Just before you get to the community garden area, it's about an acre in front of that.
Okay, it's the acre,
But on the same ground that the former farm was,
okay.
the Pickles Farm.
I know where it is.
Yeah.
The one that Sickles and then Impact Oasis had for.
Back away society.
It was Sickles, and now there's a little beekeeper between that and the
There'll be
community.
before the beekeeper, but not as far
And
as
then
the.
there's a community, and where the community was, I know Oasis was there.
Mhm.
Okay, but I do want to find out what the relationship of Middletown is to it. Only because I hate seeing it, I hate to see the condition it's in.
I just want to bring it back because technically this is a public hearing on this specific ordinance. But to answer your questions, the township was.
And you don't have to answer.
No, it's fine. The Stevenson family gave the park to the town with life rights to the Mr. and Mrs. Stevenson to Mr. Stevenson, who was living there. Once he passed away, the park then officially became owned by the township, right? In its entirety, the restriction there of him having the life rights to the home was then gone, was settled. The township adopted that in certain areas, that you need to allow for active growth of the facility, right? I mean, not the part of our adoption and the points that we receive for Sustainable Jersey is by not mowing everything so that bees can pollinate and animals can utilize for cover and things of that nature. It's all part of us not mowing every single blade of grass to promote growth, animal activity, so on and so forth. So part of the rationale is there's only a small part of that park that is used, and that is our community garden. And now Fostering Farmers, pending the vote here, will be allowed to utilize that. But the park is just that. It's a passive park. There's no fields. There's no recreational use. It is supposed to be a passive park and a piece of preserved open space.
Okay, now, thank you for explaining that. I do know that a couple of years back, people wanted to build soccer fields there, et cetera. And I know that was brought up, and I watched what happened with that. So I knew that there was a possibility you might want to do something like that. And I also knew that with this farm thing that I found out about it by accident, because I read the agenda when I decided I'd come here last meeting. And so now I know that events or things come up, and I'll find out about them later. So I'm curious as a whole, the overview of what.
There is no plan other than for fostering farmers in the community garden to currently
Okay.
operate at Stevenson Park.
Okay, I understand that. Now, the other thing I understand is that I know that Mr. Stevenson had life rights to that property with the nice residence on.
Had life rights to his house.
To
and
the
lot,
house.
Not the whole property.
No, I'm saying that's exactly what I just said. Life rights to his property, that house there where the house was and that area. And I'm aware that I understood that Middletown, the rest of the property was not within that life rights for
Right.
Mr. Stevens. So that's exactly what I thought. All these years I've been going there, that was my understanding. I have actually talked to Mr. Stephen. I've had conversations with him during Sandy. I had conversation with him. So I'm familiar with all that. But I did want to know, so I do know it's mentioned as that passive park. I'm going to tell you now that as a person who has been, my heart has been invested in this place. And I was raised in Middletown, so I'm returning back to Middletown. And I know what the landscape was like here. Because the place matters to me, I took some time and I wrote a 15-page PDF. I prepared one. And that is going to discuss how I feel and what I can't say here. It would take too long to tell you what I'm looking for that park and why I'm disappointed in the condition it's in. Okay. And so it will be very clear. I'll probably email it to each of you. I think I found your email somehow.
You can send it our way.
Very tricky. Pardon me?
You can send it our way.
I definitely am. And I just want you to know exactly where I'm coming from. Okay, with that park. Not that it matters, but who knows? It might matter somewhere down the road. And the second thing is I still continue to be curious about what can be done at the park to improve the conditions that I am.
Once
not
once
happy.
you send it, I'll take it. I'll review it.
I would like everybody to look at
Sure.
it. Okay. And I don't know who else right now to give it to, but it's just food for thought, pretty much. All right,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3482? Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move the closed public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt this ordinance on second and final reading. At this time, we have ordinance 2025-3483, an ordinance of the Township Committee of the Township of Middletown, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of Block 1098.02, Lot 19.01 pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-1 et sec.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3483? John?
John Spinelli, 91 Burlington Avenue. I just had a question. I didn't look at the agenda tonight. Where's that parcel by? Can you just kind of describe?
I'm sorry, John.
Where's the parcel? But like where's the general area where?
It's in River Plaza. And if you go over there, it's Albert Street. There's a weird little triangle of property that doesn't even have any frontage on a road that had some missing property owner. So the township foreclosed on it because the house that's next to it had actually built onto the property decades and decades ago. So it was a title issue. So we foreclosed on this little triangle and now we're selling it to the adjacent property owner so they can actually own it.
Oh.
I'll show it to you on the map one day. It's one of the craziest things you've ever seen.
Okay.
It's a really strange.
It's the
property.
most bizarre roadway and how the road turns too along this.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So it's just cleaning up some of these, areas that are township property versus not and people building on them with sheds and things of that nature. So it's
Gotcha.
it's really a cleanup.
Okay, so is it zoned as vacant land or? Do you know the
It's
zoning for it?
vacant, it's in a residential zone. It's basically the backyard to a house that's already there.
Gotcha.
Pretty much what it is.
All right. Just wanted to ask.
They just didn't own it.
Thanks, John. Any other member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3483? Seeing no other member of the yeah, right? Yeah. Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeewoman Kratz,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel,
Yeah.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt this ordinance on second and final reading. At this time, we have introduction of proposed ordinances, 2025-3473, an ordinance amending Township Salary Ordinance setting salaries for non-contractual employees for 2025 through 2026.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
We have Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held 10/20/2025. At this time, we have ordinance 2025-3484, an ordinance of the Township Committee of the Township of Middletown, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of Block 84, Lot 6 pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-1 et sec.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held October 20th, 2025. Our final ordinance for introduction, we have 2025-3485, an ordinance establishing regulations governing the planting, growing, maintenance, and cultivating of bamboo.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held October 20th, 2025. At this time, we have known action items. I'd like to ask the Township Committee to adopt a consent agenda, which would include resolutions 25-291 through 25-304, including firefighter application for Shane O'Connor, Station 2.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt consent agenda. At this time, we have Township Committee comments.
All right, Committeewoman Kratz.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief. I just wanted to congratulate Dennis Fowler, who celebrated 50 years of service on our fire department. I know Dennis personally for a long time, and he's a good guy and a wonderful volunteer to Middletown and has served the public well, so we're thankful for his service. Also want to also congratulate the folks, everyone responsible for Walu Park. We were able to cut the ribbon. Gosh, it was a week ago, I think already, right? So it was wonderful. So really awesome to see our, community enjoy the new park with families. It was the first park that was voted on by our residents with 3 choices. And so it was really wild to see. Everyone was super excited to see their choice come to fruition. So we're real happy and excited about that. It was a great day. Thank you.
All right, thank you. DM?
Brief again, I just, the Gary Rumman family, Tony, myself and Ryan were at an event a few weeks back and there must have been 75 people that participated in this event. It was pretty amazing to be there. And just the fact that they were they stood up there and basically, cried in excitement to give us this check for the Veterans Home. So much appreciated, great family, good stuff they're doing. Just in case everyone knows, I did challenge the mayor to do the run for Luca this year. He didn't come, so I was able to just beat Committeeman Clark over the finish line and by a little bit, but I definitely would have beat the mayor if he was there. So great event for the town. I think there was 200 runners in there. It's really an amazing community that comes out for this every year. So that's all I have, Mayor.
The beauty of me speaking last is that I get to speak last after the deputy mayor there. Okay. Challenge accepted there, buddy. But the Love for Luca event, unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there. It was my mom's 60th birthday, so I did have a little bit of an excuse as to why I couldn't be there.
Oh, Clark said you were scared.
Yeah. Now my mom's gonna be annoyed at me because I just gave her age out on the YouTube channel. Heidi, take that out of the minutes, all right?
Joe.
But the Love for Luca event is certainly one of the best, and Frank, Michelle, everybody that's involved, Luca's grandparents, just amazing individuals. And you know, it's hard to believe the number of years that have gone by now since he passed. But just a wonderful, wonderful event. Speaking of 5Ks, I was at the EMS with Committeeman Senabrino, the EMS 5K on Sunday, and great job by the cadets. All the EMS cadets doing an unbelievable job putting together so many folks to come out and support the our first responders. So congratulations to them. To John Staken, the entire Gary Ruman family. What many people don't realize is that the Gary Ruman family is a thorn. So when you look at the life and legacy of this family for Middletown, for America, in being Middletown's only Medal of Honor recipient, and then to see the continued dedication to service, to courage, to our armed forces, and most importantly, to our country. And then for them to come here tonight and generously donate to our Veterans Village. It's just you know, inspiring to say the least that year after year they're giving back. Speaking of the Thorne family, I just want to you know, it was too early a few meetings ago to talk about the Thorne family. They weren't ready yet. But Middletown did lose Anita Thorne Kaiser, and this weekend will be her 101st birthday. She passed away at the age of 100, and even at 100, she was still coming to Thorne to celebrate her brother, celebrate his life, his legacy. And this weekend, her remembrance ceremony will take place. And she meant a lot to me, both professionally and personally, as the mayor and as a human being, because Anita, I got to meet my first year as mayor, and she came to my swearing in 2020, and hugged me harder than anyone else in that room that day. But her life and legacy will never be forgotten. What she meant to this town, and what she did year after year after year after year for decades, nearly 7 decades after her brother's passing, and his death at during World War II at the Battle of the Bulge. It was certainly worthy of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but her life and legacy was defined by that same service and sacrifice for so many decades after his passing. So my heartfelt thank you to her family, and at 100 years old, you don't have a funeral and everyone is sad, and you have a celebration of life when you have a dedication to your community and your country like she did. So God bless her and her family, and I'll remember her for all the greatness that she brought to our town, all the greatness that she brought to our community, and for the memory that she forever preserved of her brother, Buddy Thorne. So with that, I'll open it up for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to make a public comment may do so. Ask that you state your name for the record and that you keep your comments to 5 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll let you know that you have 1 minute remaining. Any member of the public wishing to make a public comment? John, come on down.
John Spinelli, 91 Burlington Avenue. Kind of random, but in honor of the Charlie Kirk Memorial that just happened a couple weeks ago, I wanted to respectfully disagree with the Township Committee on one thing, and that's the how the form of government is. I think that it should be the Township Committee should consider a new type of model, like how Howell Township does it, having the mayor be a separate position directly voted directly by the voters, and then having the council be like almost like a kind of basing off like like the council being like a legislature and the mayor being more of an executive only position. I think the reason why I kind of support the idea, I know it's been talked about in the past with Middletown, is kind of basing it off separation of powers and how the Constitution is with the executive branch, the legislative branch. I think I just wanted to ask if the council could maybe consider that in
The
the
mayor
future.
and House still get to vote.
No, I'm saying like, but it's,
They still have a legislative vote.
no, I understand, but the mayor would be directly voted by the people,
Mhm.
which I'm not saying, I'm not saying like that against you, Mayor Perry. I'm just
No,
saying
I
like,
understand. You're just asking the question. I get it and I respect it. The difference though is you're saying that there's a separation of powers. There's not a separation of powers. Correct. Correct.
well, if you want to get into the details, the current mayor of Howell is like a Bill Spadia type Republican compared to the council that is more like mainline Republican. So the reason why I ask this is just so there could be a possibility of if someone could directly run for mayor in Middletown, there could be a possibility of a different type of like ideology, or you could say, on the council.
Yeah, I mean, everyone still gets voted on up here though.
No, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, the ideology of me versus Rick versus Kim versus Kevin versus Ryan is going to change depending on who's sitting in the seat, but they still have those opinions.
I can tell you too, the trend nationally is to completely going away from that form of government and going to the form of government that we have here. Because if you look at almost anywhere in the country where there's city politics, where people get in trouble, it's always with a separately elected mayor, 99% of the time. So it's a poor form of government that's being done away with throughout the country for the most part.
That's why Homedale just rejected it 2 years ago.
What's the reason for that? Like why that's happening?
Well, because the trend, again, across the country is that if one elected person is able to make all the decisions, that it's a recipe for trouble. The power becomes abusive sometimes, and that's why the country's really moving away from that form.
But wouldn't the majority make the decision though?
Hmm?
What, like for Howell, for example, if the council disagrees with the mayor, wouldn't if the council voted as a majority, wouldn't they override the mayor?
Well, it depends, we don't have this conversation here, but, in some cases where mayors are in charge of hiring and directly establishing budgets, that tends to be problematic. And that's what history has shown, and that's why everyone's moving away from that.
Have you heard of Tom's River?
Yeah, Tom's River.
Typically, the mayor's paid as well, John, in those forms of government. Right now, the mayor, same as me, very small.
Yep.
No, I'm very aware of Tom's River. It's I don't know how he's not primaryed yet, honestly.
It's like the only thing the Asbury Park Press covers anymore. I guess.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Also, the other thing I wanted to bring up was I was looking on I noticed there's a land for sale on, I gotta look it up. On 123 and 125 Magnolia Lane. near Anna's Italian, where the formerly Anna's Italian restaurant used to be. There's a 2.5 acre parcel for sale of open space, kind of when you're driving. So when you're on that road driving to the neighborhood there, I noticed there was a parcel of open space for sale. So I wanted to mention that to the committee, that, you know, something to consider putting it on the Rossi and, you know.
We don't own that parcel, obviously, so we couldn't put it on the Rossi, but the other part of that is that it's a wetlands jungle back there.
Is that why it's not selling?
Yeah.
Correct, that's why it'll sit on the market.
Yeah, we've looked at that property many times over the years. It's so wet. There's very little you can do with it. Has very little value. So if someone buys it, it's going to remain open space anyway.
Is it, so theoretically, if a developer wanted to buy it, they couldn't even build one house on it? Or
Maybe
if
they
that,
could get one house on it, but even then, they're going to spend a lot of time with the DEP trying to get one house built.
Gotcha. All right, that's it.
All right, thanks. Any other member of the public wishing to make a public comment?
I want to go on a record since I wasn't very clear before.
Can you state your name again for the record?
Oh, okay, sure. Andrea Abbott. But
I
I
got your
won't give my address.
You don't have to give your address. I got your email, by the way.
I know.
I haven't had time. I've been in a meeting to
Oh,
review it.
okay, no
I'll see you to
excuses.
take a look at it.
I did want to say, I wanted to go on record because I was talking about the park. And I did want to say, you've all gotten the email and you can all check it out. But I did want to go on record to say that you'll notice in that PDF I wrote that I'm all for this fostering farmers LLC idea. I specifically, to me, it was important that it go on the formerly farmed agricultural area, which I found out it did. Anyway, I just want to say, I think it's a wonderful idea. It's a great use of that agricultural section and a great opportunity for the people who are going to be using it. So I think that's wonderful. And I also happen to know one of the people who's sort of involved in it, but who's promoting it. And I want her to know. But the other thing is, you mentioned the Rossi. Is Stevenson Park on the Rossi?
I believe it is, yeah.
I thought it was. Okay. Yeah, somebody told me it wasn't. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other member of the public wishing to make a public comment? Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and adjourn.
Second.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you all.